3, 2.
I bet he didn't know we was right there. I heard a few shots, that's a hot pill. It's gonna be a whole nother sound. I promise that I can come straight to town, cause I ain't got no hate told you town. Nigga wanna see me walk with my head down. Think it's funny, I ain't playing around. Remember my bet, but
Welcome to Straight Facts Podcast. It's your host CY, and I'm starting this off with a banger, man. To me, this is a legend. This is a guy that we heard so many great stories from back in my football days, back in Rich Spring, man. Coach Rogers used to tell us amazing stories about this guy here, man. So, and from my opinion, he's a legend from down from where I'm from, you know. So I want to introduce y'all to Mr. Richard Maddox, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm glad you came by to holler at me, man.
Yeah.
You know, this been a long time coming.
Yes.
You know, because like I told you, you know, I played with two of your sons, and
Right.
we used to always hear stuff about you, man. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I got to bring them on.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all heard most of the good.
Oh, yeah. Most of the good, man.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so, you
Yeah.
know, I just want to get into a little in your past a little bit, man.
Right, yes.
Let's talk about where you came from and
Right.
your upbringing and stuff like that.
Right.
And so just give us a little info on your childhood and your upbringing.
Right. Well, you know, my father was a military officer.
Yes.
And my mother actually was a school teacher.
Okay.
And she actually she taught school. She did some substitute teaching and stuff at Rich Spring.
Okay.
And then she also did some in Aiken, I think. But she ended up working at Aiken Tech as an instructor, and also she did some stuff at Augusta State. So basically, that was my background. My dad retired from White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico.
Okay.
We moved to Rich Spring, South Carolina.
Wow.
And I never forget it. My dad, we had axes. We had bush axes, everything about land that we had clear. In order to do what we had to do. So it was a totally different environment.
Yes.
Rural.
Yeah.
You had to adjust to it. An entirely different lifestyle, which, you know, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I know it. So New Mexico, what it wasn't rural?
No.
How was New Mexico?
Yeah, New Mexico, I mean, it was deserted in a lot of
Yeah,
areas.
yeah.
And it was White Sands, where that's a famous area in New Mexico.
Okay.
For this area just full of white sands. I wish I knew a little bit more about the history of it.
Yeah.
But I was maybe 6 years old when we left.
Okay.
So you know, I was in the South long enough. I got enough chance to get my roots, you know, put in there at that young age.
Oh yeah.
So and it was a military base that we were at, stationed at out there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
that was when he retired. That's where we moved from to Rich Spring. But you know, I was used to having neighbors and being in a more of a metropolitan area. Not quite a deep city.
Every time you come outside, his neighbors talking.
There was neighbors talking, things going on. But you know,
Yeah.
I never forget when we moved to Rich Spring, and we moved to my grandmother's house first, and they said that I think a couple of my sisters had left the house and said, well, they're the neighbor's house. I'm like, what neighbor? that was up the dirt road around the corner.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
facts,
So
facts.
yeah, but you know, and getting to Rich Spring, it was when the challenge began.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The challenge began because you got to be able to hold your own.
Yes, you do.
Okay, you do.
So how old were you when y'all first got to Rich Spring?
6 years old, because I had my 7-year-old birthday party that following March. So I think we got here December 1975, 1976 when I turned 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so was you the only like son, or did you have multiple brothers?
I was the only boy. I had 4 sisters.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell me how that was growing
Well,
up.
that
Four
was,
sisters.
well, I had three older and one younger. So,
Okay.
of course, the 3 older were always telling me what to do.
I already know it.
And the one younger one was the infamous nagging little sister that everybody had, you know.
Facts.
But she and I were real close because we were the closest in age, about a year and a half, a year and some months.
Okay.
And then my older sister was 9 years older, and then one of her was 8 years older, and then I had one that was 2.5 years older.
Okay.
Yeah, but I learned how to do a lot of things. I had to do all the in-house work and the outside stuff.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can imagine, especially like you said, like labor work. You know what I'm saying? You know, most of the time your father gonna tell the women to stand there with your mom and help her clean up and stuff.
Right.
But you got to come out there with pops.
All of it.
You got to come out there and do all the manual work, man.
Yes,
So
yeah.
And like you said when y'all first moved down there, did y'all have like any family members around?
Yeah, we did. My grandmother was there. My mother's family is from there.
Oh, okay.
They originated out of Maddox, South Carolina, and ended up, setting up in Rich Spring and Aiken area.
Okay.
So, her last name was Kenner.
Kenner. Oh yeah, I know some Kenners down there.
Yeah, she was a Kenner. So she had a long history of a family being back there.
Okay.
Land purchase that took place back in the 1700s.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So they been stamped down.
Oh yeah, there was Keys Pond Road.
Oh yeah,
Keys Pond.
Yeah,
Bought that land a long time ago.
Yeah. So where your father's side of the family from?
My father's actually born in Alabama, Anniston, Alabama,
Okay.
and then moved to Fayetteville, North Carolina. So
Okay.
he went to this notable high school called E.E. Smith High School.
Okay.
And he actually went to college on a basketball scholarship at South Carolina State.
Wow. Now let's
And
get in a little bit of
and
that.
ended up playing football.
Wow.
Yeah, yep, and being All-American there.
Hold on. So
Yeah,
we got to
okay.
go into this a little bit,
Right,
man,
yeah.
because we need to know where the lineage come from.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So you said he went to high school in Fayetteville, right?
Yes.
So he got a scholarship for basketball,
Yes.
but he ended up playing football at South Carolina State.
Yes.
Wow.
He played both his freshman year, but he ended up leaning more toward football.
Okay.
And had a great career as a football player.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow, man.
He was in ROTC and then when he was there, but his goal was to become a military officer.
Okay.
So yeah, he played the game of football, but of course the pay wasn't as popular as it was back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
And it was something that he really wanted to be an officer in the military, so he took that route.
Okay, so that was his main goal since
Yeah.
he was young.
Since he was young, to be an officer in the
Okay.
military. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's a great story too, man.
Right.
And another thing too. So, we used to call Richard, your son I played football with. We used to call him Mad Dog.
Yes.
So where did that nickname originally come from, man?
Came from my dad. My dad being the heck of a football player that he was when he was at South Carolina State. And, I heard stories even from referees when I was in high school that went to school with him and talking about it. And, my dad used to reference the famous Deacon Jones because he had stopped through there before he transferred to another school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that name came from him. It was like Madman, Mad Dog, and then it came down to me. But you had to bring it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, you
You
had
had
to
to
earn
get
it.
the title. You had to earn the title. You just couldn't take
Wow.
the name because it was before you.
Yeah, yeah.
And it took hard work and it was tough.
I'm telling
Right.
for a nickname like that, and like you said, like I really never heard nobody else really have that name.
Right.
So for somebody to come up with that name and give it to your pops, that mean he had to be like
He was fierce.
he was fierce. Yes. Yeah.
He was
Okay.
fierce.
For real.
He was
So
All-American, yeah.
he was okay. So All-American at South Carolina State. How long did he stay at South Carolina State?
He was there the full 4 years. He played, every year when he was there. Of course, that's back when you were considered a sissy if you wore a face mask.
Wow.
So he started off with the leather helmets. You know what I mean? The leather
Oh
helmets.
my God.
And then they ended up by the time he got out with the guard. The
Wow.
face guard. But that was some real tough football back
I'm
then.
telling you, I can only imagine, man, because like I said, I watch a lot of NFL, and I be watching like the documentaries on the older players that played from back then.
Right.
And like you said, Deacon Jones, man. Every time I watch Deacon Jones, well, I don't know if he passed away.
Yeah, I don't know if Deke passed away. Yeah, he was actually our player PR guy when I was in Calgary.
Oh, wow.
When I was going to Canada to play. Yeah, he was our PR
It's just
guy.
that's crazy how much everything be tied in like that.
Yes.
But yeah, so I just watch a lot of the older players. Their fingers and everything is just messed up. There's a lot of CTE and stuff. 'Cause,
Oh, yeah.
like you said, no face mask. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. And
So
a
did
leather
your,
helmet.
did your
yeah.
pops ever suffer with anything from
I'm
that?
sure he did. I'm sure he had to adjust just like others, and then
Facts.
also some of the PTSD from actually being a Vietnam vet. Going
Oh,
2 tours
yeah,
and all.
yeah.
And a frontline officer. He wasn't somebody back in the office. He was down there on the front line.
He was on the ground.
Yeah, he was on the ground.
So we're gonna get into a little of that too, man.
Okay.
So you say he went to Vietnam. How many
He did 2 tours.
2 tours, okay.
And he was on what you consider the cleanup time over at Korea. as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, he had and he went 2 tours, and like I always tell people, he was an infantry officer.
Yeah.
He was right there on the ground, boots on the
Okay.
ground. Yeah.
So that's what infantry mean, like you
yeah.
right there with the
Bullets
soldiers.
whizzing by your head. Yeah. Right.
Wow.
There. Yeah.
So did you used to love the stories he used to tell you? when
Oh
you was
yeah,
small?
there were some interesting stories.
Man, I can only imagine.
Wow. Some of them I definitely can't repeat.
Yeah, I already know about that.
yeah.
Yeah, facts,
Right.
man. That's wild, man.
And one of the things that as we go on, I'll tell you what he transferred to me when it came to football or basketball, which made me, I'll say contributed to a lot, immensely as to how good I played.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I love the thing about your theme with the straight facts, because that's what he used to cut it to.
Oh,
No matter
yeah?
what was going on, he would say, "Listen, this is what you're supposed to be doing."
Yeah.
Okay, regardless of everything else that's going on. So I can't wait to share that one with you, especially
yeah.
when it came to football.
Oh yeah. So and then we're gonna get back into a little of you too, man. So we're gonna start back off with Rich Spring. So you said I was growing up in Rich Spring. Your mother's side of the family was down there.
Yeah.
So how was that? How was her side of the family? Was they more hands-on with the grandchildren? Did y'all always go to grandma's house?
Man, I was always there. We always went there, but I was always there because grandma was an excellent cook. She actually, from the time my mother was 8 until I was about 15 or 16. She lived in New York 6 months.
Oh yeah.
As a cook, yeah.
Oh wow.
So in 6 months she'd be gone, then she would come back, and she Native American background.
Okay.
And what was neat about it is that I would always go to her house and go through the woods, and she had traps in the woods. I would check all her traps and things like that.
So she used to catch animals and
oh
stuff.
Oh yeah. Check her traps and everything. Go back to the house, tell her if I saw anything in there.
Wow, man.
But she just had a wonderful spirit. She was kind. She was fair, but she was very loving, and I spent a lot of time with her.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow, man. That's amazing to always get wisdom from your grandparents and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't get to spend time with their grandparents.
Right, yeah.
Especially nowadays, a lot of the grandparents be young and stuff. So
yes.
It's really like, man, what can we learn from them? We can learn stuff from them, but at the same time, like back then, man, it was a lot of wisdom.
Yes.
And you could go to your grandparents and they would put you on knowledge and stuff like that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what, did she had a husband that your
Well,
grandfather?
my grandfather had passed many years ago.
Oh, okay.
Not long after I was born, he had
Oh,
passed.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear any stories about him or anything?
He was rough around the edges.
Oh, yeah?
yeah. And actually, he went to Atlanta University, and he actually played football there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's in both sides of your
both sides of the family.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna get in to your school days, man. Tell me how it was going to Rich Spring. You start from middle school all the way to high school, however you want to go.
Yeah, being in school at Rich Spring, one thing that was always a consistent was sports.
Yeah.
And everybody couldn't wait to get to 7th grade to be able to play football.
Yeah.
Like one of those things, and it was a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Back then it was a time to demonstrate your manhood. And
Oh yeah. I'm telling you
that you belonged in the tribe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we can count on you, that you had my back.
Facts.
Yeah, if something came down. You know
Real
what I mean?
talk.
So
Real talk, bro.
and if you couldn't, one of the things that your reputation was really important.
Yes.
And being able to work hard was a very part of what defined who you were.
I'm telling you, especially as a man.
Yeah, can you work hard?
Yeah.
And you had to be able to transfer that kind of work ethic to the field as well.
Yes.
And if you couldn't work hard, I'm sorry, but you just didn't fit in.
You're not gonna fit in.
Yeah, you're not gonna fit in. So you had to do the same thing that because a lot of times when we were playing football or any sport, you were working the fields, or you were, especially summertime, because practice would start, you were still doing field work. You were doing peaches, pruning trees, digging potatoes, you can go on and on and on, watermelon. So we were always actively doing those things as well as going to football practice.
Yes,
okay?
yeah.
So,
that taught you a lot of discipline too, by working in the fields and bringing that to the football field.
Right.
So I can imagine, man, you work in the fields, and by the time you come to practice, everything not easy.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, man, I can do this.
Yeah.
I done did this at home for 10 hours with pops.
yeah.
So I can come out here, man. It's gonna be hard work, but I can do it.
Yeah, you can. Hard work was something that we were conditioned and used to.
Yes.
We're used to hard work.
Yes.
And so
7th grade, you said 7th grade. You was what? You started playing middle school or
middle school?
Middle school
You
football.
start playing middle school football.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was y'all season around that? What, 7th grade, 8th grade year?
Well, we did very well. We did pretty good. Every team. I was fortunate enough in Rich Spring to be, especially football wise, to be on winning teams.
Yeah.
All from 7th grade all the way up.
That's all I heard about y'all too.
Yeah. And we did face our challenges when it came to playoffs and things like that. But one thing that was good about it is that great teams are not built by design; they're built through shared experiences. And what we came to the table with already was shared experiences like field work together.
Yes.
All those things were there. Those things we were initiated into, so we know how to bring those things together.
Yes.
On the field.
Facts.
Yeah, we look to each other for that. And usually those who weren't out in the field,
they didn't play football.
couldn't perform on their football
field.
field.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right though. And another thing you said too, man, like when you play football, it's like, I don't know. I guess it was the mentality that we had growing up. It's like I couldn't be a man unless I played football. Like I don't know if it's just I love it so much or what, but like you said, you had to. I want to be proven around Rich Spring town. Like I play football.
That was your rep.
You know what I'm saying?
That was your rite of passage.
Yeah.
Once you've gone through there, we can shake your hand and say, okay, you've been through the trials and tribulations and the tests that it takes to be considered a man in this neighborhood.
Yes, because like you said, they know the behind the scenes work that we have to put in.
Yes.
So if they see that you can complete it, make the team, and complete the season,
they
know you done put in a lot of work, so they gonna respect you, man.
That's right.
On and off the field.
That's right. And one of the things that I'm glad that we're here to talk about some of the successes that I had. But like I told you, what I wanted to mention was the guys who aren't being if it weren't for people like Bobby Oatman, James Cyrus, and there's many more I can name.
I love it,
okay,
man.
Craig Bird, my cousin.
Yeah.
A lot of people who made me
Yeah.
the athlete I was, because if they weren't as competitive as they were, and they didn't give me the challenges that I needed, I could have never got to where I was.
Yes, that's a fact.
So, and there are many more. I mean, in relation to football, basketball, track, everything. And what was good about that is that during that time, you didn't know it. Okay, you were competitive with each other. You're both going through your rites of passage. Everybody wanted to be on the top shelf. But looking back, when I see those guys and they see me, you know what I mean? I embrace them in a totally different way.
Family forever.
Family forever. That they know about the grind. They know about the hardships. Yet at the same time, we develop respect for each other.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. And like you said, like, that's a bond that would never be broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I don't went years without talking to some of my teammates, but when you see them, man, it's all love.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing that we almost shared the same experiences because we went to the same school. So we had to deal with the same type of stuff that we didn't have that other schools had.
Right.
From being a 1A school.
Yes.
But one thing people always said, when they play Rich Springs, they gonna feel it at the game.
That's
because the stuff that we had to work with was like old school stuff, so we had to work harder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have the $1 million locker room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Great fields to practice on.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? We was out there in the peach field.
We had
like,
cow poop all over our field.
All that.
Everything,
man. So that definitely lets them show another level of respect to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's for the love of the game, man.
Right.
So high school.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit. When did y'all? So you said since the freshman year, y'all was having success.
Oh, we had success every year. You know.
You started on varsity as a freshman.
Actually, after our freshman year, a couple of us got moved up to the varsity.
Okay.
I think we went 8-0. You know.
Oh, wow.
You know, with our JV team.
Okay.
Yeah, we really kicked some butt. I mean, high score numbers.
Wow.
You know, then we went. A couple of us got pushed up to be with the high school players toward the end of the year.
Yeah.
And then sophomore year I started, and I was first team all conference and all region and everything.
First year starting.
Yeah.
And so what position did you play?
I was a running back. I played running back. I played some linebacker. I played defensive line.
Okay. So which one did you enjoy the best? Hitting or receiving the hit?
Hitting. Yeah, I scored touchdowns a lot. I did. Yeah, but it was like
wow. Yeah. You had to lay some pads on somebody.
But I really love breaking the heat.
Yeah. Right. Okay, man, that's good, man. So you said, and I like the way you give your teammates the love, man. Because it's a lot of. That's the way you teach humility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of superstars and stuff, they experience certain things and they don't like to bring their teammates along.
Right.
Not even physically, but mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like how you bring up their names and stuff. You have to bring them up, let them know. You know what I'm saying? Without you guys, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you hit it right on the head with that, man.
And I really appreciate them. I mean, some of them that were just, even like Michael Hickson, you know what I mean? Just
I know
day after day after day that would grind and compete. And the thing that was so good about it is that where we're from is that it didn't matter who you were, they still were gonna bring their A game.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You may if it's basketball practice, you may pull a few more rebounds today. Tomorrow they're coming back.
Oh yeah, facts.
They're coming back brand new, so you better be ready.
You're right about that too. Brand new. Don't think because you did this Tuesday and Wednesday that it's gonna be Thursday and Friday. Somebody else gonna bring up to your level. You got to keep ranking.
They're gonna keep coming. And it was that constant competition to where you got to a point where you realized that you had to bring the best, and you end up doing what I consider smarter, because I got to a point where I realized that I've got to do better tomorrow. So I had to compete with today's performance tomorrow. Yeah.
So did you think, the way you're talking right now,
right,
as far as like you said, you had to compete tomorrow, you was thinking like that back then?
Yeah, I came to that conclusion.
Where do you think you got that from? As far as like that grit and grind?
That grit and grind.
Pops?
Yes, my father definitely. And one thing that he did when it came, that the reason why that he was very integral with my success as an athlete is because, he said, don't pat yourself on the back too soon.
Yeah.
But, my dad was real rough. He said, you can make all the tackles in the world, hit somebody hard, and he'd say, you haven't killed nobody yet. so
it's the army mentality.
Yeah, you still never hit anybody hard enough. Okay.
Facts.
But also, like when you look at the facts, which I love about the show, is that he would break it down. You could be playing the full game of football. And this is something that, I hope that everybody can benefit from, because it really helped me. He said, what's the name of the game, son? Football. So he said, so point blank zero, what does that mean? He said, I'm gonna tell you what it means. It means you have to be where the ball is.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to be where the ball is. You're not doing anything if you're not with the ball.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says, I don't want to catch you playing football.
Break that down.
He said, I don't want to catch you playing football. You know, you come off the line, you hit a guy, you mess around him for a while. My guy's like, he doesn't have the ball.
Yeah, go find the ball.
Go find the ball.
Okay.
Get off the block and get to the ball. And
Wow.
that's where I got, a lot of my notoriety from, because I didn't stay on blocks.
Wow.
And it was already in my mindset that this guy may be an obstacle in front of me.
Man.
And it's not my goal to beat him on the line. It's my goal to be where the ball is.
Getting chills, boy.
Yeah.
Listen, Nick, I love this story,
Yeah.
bro. Because I can imagine you, like, you know what I'm saying? The way he broke that down to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's simple, but it ain't.
Right.
It's simple, but that's the game of football.
Yes.
Find the man with the football.
Period.
And like you said, when somebody block you, that's in your mind, you're gonna get off this block.
Yeah.
Because Pops told me go find the ball. So
Find the
get to that ball.
Find the ball. And even as a running back and also as a fullback.
Yeah.
That if I'm blocking for the guy, I need to be near the ball.
Yep.
Where the ball is. So I may knock one guy down, I got to get up and get to the next guy.
Yep.
Next guy. And a lot of times, because I would go all the way into, this is true, I think maybe we probably fumbled in the end zone. You know how that happens. Probably,
Oh yeah.
I probably got about 8 to 10 touchdowns because I was around the ball.
Oh wow.
When it came out, I was able to be there and get on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's amazing, man.
being where the ball is.
Yeah, facts.
That's
You're
right. And it transferred to basketball. We're out there in warm-ups. You're trying to do all type of finger rolls and glides.
You don't feel good out there.
Yeah, my dad would say, no, practice your shot. And then, no matter what happened in the game, he would tell me, he says, the ball needs to be in the circle.
Facts.
You gotta put the ball in the circle.
Yep.
If you're not putting it in there, help it get in the circle.
Yep.
And then also, if you play great defense, you respect the ball when you get it in your hand.
Yes.
Yeah. You have respect for the shots that you make.
Yes.
You have respect for who you pass it to.
Yes.
Because that only comes by exerting a lot of force on defense.
Yeah, you're right.
And if you do it, you look back at the Bulls when they had their successful years and seasons, and some of the other teams of recent is their defense.
Yeah, you're right. Facts.
Yeah, and they respect the ball once they get it.
Yep, you're right.
If you steal it, you got a lot of respect for that ball.
Yeah, and like you said, that's why the teams that win championships, they always be good defensive teams, and they don't have high turnovers.
Right.
Because like you said, they respect that ball.
And that's in football or basketball.
Either one.
of them.
Yeah, you're right. So that's a great mentality to have, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you, like you said, to be coached at school, but to come home and also have somebody to break it down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get coached at school, but you have somebody at home to break it down to a simple form where you can understand it, and you going into the game, you got to think so much. You just think it simply.
Yep, and he wanted me to be a student of the game.
Okay.
Learn the game. He would buy. Back then we had the VHS tape. Tape.
Yeah.
And he would say, okay, what position you playing? What y'all gonna be doing? Put this in so you can learn the foundation of what is your primary objective or your primary job at that position.
Yes.
So that was important.
That leads me to my next question too. So y'all used to watch tape. Did your dad show you any tapes of Walter Payton, or has he, or did you used to watch any tapes of older football players?
Oh yes.
Did you study? Who?
Yes, I did. Oh my God, you ready for this? Like you said, Walter Payton, and it was his relentless effort to get another yard.
Yes, man.
You're looking at linebackers like Lawrence Taylor, who just were reckless abandon.
Legend.
And they stayed off of blocks.
They did.
Those people stayed off of blocks.
They did.
Great quarterbacks like Joe Montana and Steve Young.
Yeah.
You could go legendary. The Dallas Cowboys, and a lot of people may get mad at me for saying this, but they had a lot of unity. They had a lot of pride in themselves.
Oh yeah, they did.
And they went above and beyond.
They did.
They went above and beyond.
They did. And Jimmy Johnson, he brought that mentality, like togetherness. You know what I'm saying? Because he came from Miami, University of Miami,
right?
And he brought that same kind of, so. He did give his teams a little more freedom, but at the same time, that's not being so stuck up where the players don't want to perform for him.
Right. Well,
so they want to perform for him.
Yes. He was a player's coach. That's what you call that. Yep. The kind that you'll sell out for. You'll sell out your body for. And that's a special talent when a coach can do that. When a coach can nurture that guy's talents and skills.
Yes.
And at the same time, keep him in a team atmosphere, so that it works together for the whole. And that's what every owner or every athletic director, GM, they're looking for that coach that has that talent and that skill. Yes. And it's rare.
Yes,
that's why it's very valuable.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And see, and and like you said, every GM and owner looking for that. That's why I think nowadays coaches don't get that much time because GMs are always trying to look for this. Oh, he ain't do it in 2 years, so we got to find somebody who could player coach.
Right.
Back then, they give you time to learn the players. You know what I'm saying, and get your whatever you coach in the type of way that you coach.
Right.
Give it time to put it on the players.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was a lot different too because you didn't, of course, have things that we could get into and take a lot of time. Things like kids being to leave school early. All these other different challenges that we have now. Not that it didn't happen, but it didn't happen as often.
Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot of
difference.
difference.
You had time to nurture your players for them to know you and you know them.
Yes, sir.
And you become you go through these shared experiences. And you build that great team. Usually those shared experiences are trials and tribulations and hard times.
I'm telling you, you're right.
When I was at Arizona, we ended up having that subsequent Desert Swarm defense, which was one of the best in football history.
Yeah, and see,
it was number 1 in the country.
Hold that right there.
Yeah, okay.
That's exactly where I'm going next.
Okay.
So tell me how it was playing, going to Arizona, and playing for Coach Dick. What, Tomey?
Yes.
Tomey.
Coach Dick Tomey. What the good thing about Coach Tomey is that he wanted to create that family atmosphere.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he wanted to do, he was like a good father.
Okay.
What I mean is that he's going to give you the tools, the guidance, and the instruction, but it's going to depend on you to put it in place.
Yep.
And and he fed off of his players as well.
Okay.
He fed off what they did and what they exemplified. And I will say I was a little different coming from the country. Okay, a lot of those guys were West Coast kids, and there was a difference.
When you say different, what you mean? Well, why you was because you country boy.
I was a country boy,
rough,
and everything. Nothing was made easy for me.
Yeah.
And out there, a lot of those kids, they didn't grow up working in the fields.
I already know it.
And also, I was raised in a merit system. If you pick 10 bags of peaches, you get paid for 10 bags of peaches. I don't want you to pay me for 9, and I'm not asking for what you pay for 11. Okay? So what I'm talking about is politics.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
You're going to have some of that out there, or you're going to have. Don't want to speak too harsh on it, but it was different. And so my thing is that either you're putting the guy on his back and you stand off yours. Yeah. And if you get put on yours, then why are you still playing?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So,
you're right.
I come from a great high school program that was like that. If you weren't getting the job done, you don't play. If somebody's getting it done, they didn't care what height he was, what color he was, or nothing.
Oh, for real?
If he's getting the job done, you're getting the job done. You're getting the job done.
Yes.
So you get to get in.
Yes.
So there's a lot of I don't want to say that a lot of dynamics to the game when you get in higher levels.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different influences from the outside coming in.
I can only imagine, man. Especially with you being good, it's gonna be a lot of people in your ear telling you to do this, do that, or I got this much money for you, this much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then dealing with the NCAA rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I know it was very tough.
Yeah.
But before you went to Arizona, did you go to junior college?
Yes. Yeah. I went to
you
junior college.
Lee McRae?
Lee's McRae. McRae at Banner Rail and
All-American?
Yes. First team All-American.
All-American.
We had and it was boy, you had to compete real hard.
I can imagine, man.
Well, it's like I was telling you during that time is when the NCAA had changed the GPA requirements for a lot of guys to go to D1. Okay. So we had like 93 freshmen come in that they could weed out. You know what I mean? Weed out which were the best of the best.
Wow.
So we had great teams. We had the number 1 defense in both years in the country when I was there.
For real?
But it was still a good merit system. Meaning that if you performed, you're going to get 7, 8, 9, 10 reps at practice.
Yeah.
If the best guy got in.
Oh, yeah. That's how I go.
The best guy got in.
And you said Troy Brown tried to come through
Troy Brown was there, but he didn't even get playing time.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said.
That show you how competitive it was then.
Very competitive.
Wow.
And we had, and the thing is, we had other guys from surrounding schools that were there as well that were very good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah. So,
what was Lee McRae? Sorry to cut you off.
Lee's McRae?
Yeah, Lee's McRae. What is that school?
It's in Banner Elk, North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Way up in the mountains. It was cold.
Yeah?
Yeah, but, and the thing that was good about it is the atmosphere, and you had to take, it was unspoken, but it was a Christian college.
Oh, yeah?
You had to take Old Testament, New Testament, Intro to Religion, things like that in order to graduate.
Wow.
Those were prerequisites. So at the same time, they were teaching you about what was important, giving you a foundation.
I'm telling you,
and
man.
it was waking people up.
And it had to
Build a
build a
shop.
good character in y'all.
Yeah, it did.
To study great stuff from God and stuff like that,
Yeah.
man, as young adults.
Right. And be honest, I went there to play football.
Yeah.
Ended up getting an education.
Yeah, man, that's good.
And
too,
also
man.
being orientated to God's word at the same time.
Facts.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back a little bit, and then we're gonna get back to the Arizona. So was you highly recruited coming out of Rich Spring?
Well, out of Rich Spring, I'll tell you, man, I had.
Because it's hard to get seen down there.
Yeah, it's hard to get seen. I was a trouble kid in school. You know, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I had the ability to do whatever, but you know, playing sports, I ended up getting the big head, thinking I was better than everybody else, and also that I was too good to do my homework.
Yeah. Okay. You thought the sports athletic stuff was just gonna push you up.
Yeah, it was push
the classes.
But you know, sometimes we got to get humbled in that way as well.
Oh yeah.
And that was good. That was good because I needed to take my academics more seriously.
Yes. And so that's why you ended up going the JUCO route.
Yes, I did. And you know, I had a couple other options that weren't JUCO, but you know, I had a coach that said, Richard, you know, if you give it that route and you take that option, you have the talent and skill. You academically get yourself together to go play Division I football.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But as a young adult, how did you take that though? Being able, you know, you can't go straight to D1.
Oh, it was tough.
I know
it was tough, and then especially when I went to that school because there was no athletic academic department.
Wow.
Okay, you didn't have what I had when I got to Arizona, where you had that type of backing and that type of tutors and everything. You had to pull it out.
So you basically every man for themselves.
Every man for himself. You had to pull it out.
Wow.
You had to make it happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's good, man, and it just, and I wanted to show the youth, man. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to show them that when you do certain things, it ain't just a straightforward race. Sometimes you're gonna have obstacles to get through.
You are,
you know
and you have to take the good with the bad.
Yes.
Because you know, even the Bible tells you you have to count it all joy.
Yeah.
You and I both know that if you work out in the weight room and you're bench pressing, you're not going to get strong unless you put heavier weight on you.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And what's amazing is that those people who seem to be the most successful that we know of, and there's a book I read called Think and Grow Rich years ago, and all these people that we have with these great names that we think had it easy, had it far rougher than we can imagine.
Man.
Because you know, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and what happens is it's just like putting in work.
Yep.
You can only experience a degree of success to the degree of sacrifice you make.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Whether it's by your own efforts, or whether it's by tragedy, or whether it's by trials, and
sacrifice.
Yeah. So what happens? A sacrifice is putting something off of lesser value for something of higher value. You know what I mean? So sometimes we think we're losing out on that, but we're not. We're putting something off of lesser value. So there'll be these trials and tribulations that you're going to go through.
Yep.
And I mean, and some of these things are as hard-headed as we can be. Sometimes we need to go through that.
Yes.
And God loves us.
Yes.
And that's where He puts us through in order for us to be the best that He designed us to be.
Yes. And see, that's another thing I wanted, before you continue, I wanted people to know, like, because I done heard a lot of stories where people like, man, God love me if I'm going through this, going through that. And I'm like, bro, whenever you try to give yourself to God and stuff like that, the devil gonna try to work even harder.
That's when he goes to work.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a test.
That's when he goes to
Get
work.
through this little negativity, man. It's all good. Just look at it. Everybody have to go through something.
Yes. Yeah. But
it's different levels, like you said. You know what I'm saying?
And it's just nobody in that book that I read, all these famous businessmen, athletes, none of them had it easy.
I'm telling you.
And some of them, what they'd gone through and how they got what they accomplished was absolutely amazing.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Man.
And then when you begin to move in that direction, you're going to get a lot of opposition.
Yes.
Okay. And all of us are fighting different demons or different things in our lives.
Yes, sir.
But and it really, to me, so much of my life, what I describe, even when it comes to football, comes to even my understanding of my faith came from my trials and tribulation in life.
Yes.
Okay. But and how a man thinks. If you think you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's real, man.
It's over.
Whatever you put out there in the air, atmosphere, the way you think, talk, whatever, it's how you gonna succeed.
Yeah.
Or not succeed.
Right. And I've tried depression. It doesn't work.
Man.
When I tried feeling sorry for myself, it doesn't work.
I'm telling you that.
I tried self-medicating. It doesn't work.
Facts.
Okay? Those are facts. Those are real. Okay?
Yes.
Tried self-medicating. It doesn't work.
You're right, man.
Okay.
It's a cloud.
Yeah.
It's just something hovering over you.
Yep. And you're putting off learning that lesson today, you try to sedate yourself
Yes.
in hopes that it won't be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it's going to be there tomorrow, and it's going to be even heavier.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
You're right about that too, man. I believe in manifestation. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like you said, like people will. It's different types of depression. Like how you say you went through depression. I went through depression. You know what I'm saying? Different
Right.
situations and stuff like that. But like you said, I prayed.
Yeah.
But no one is going to do it. You have to do it yourself.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do, nobody can do it for you.
They can't.
It's just you got to get up and do something.
Yourself. And the thing, and one of the key points, like you said, because as we grow and mature, one of the mistakes that we look at is we start blaming somebody else for what's going on in life.
Yep.
Now we can say that person was instrumental.
Yeah.
Okay. But when you become an adult,
Yes.
that all that may have happened to you, but guess who's got to fix it? You do.
I'm telling you.
You do.
Yes.
And the thing about it is that it doesn't hurt. Yes. But does that change the fact that you have to do it? No, it doesn't.
Nope.
And you're right, because you give up all your power. When you say that so-and-so is responsible for my life, you can't fix it. You got to wait for them to fix it.
Facts.
And that can't happen.
Yep.
It won't happen.
It won't.
And if you have a dream and a goal that you want to go after, nobody else can fix it. I don't care how upset you are with the world. Nobody can fix it but you.
Nope.
Yeah, and there was one time I went and spoke to some youth years ago. The kids were, troubled. They didn't have dads at home and things of the sort. But what I came to find out is this. I asked the boys, I said, who in here, didn't have a dad at home? 85, 90% of them didn't.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to ask you a question and give you a few minutes to tell me an answer. What can you do about the fact that your dad wasn't there? And I give them a chance to go over it and review it. And after they go over it and review it, and I'll ask them, raise your hand if you want to answer. I'm already going to answer.
Yeah.
That. So what I tell them, I said, is before anybody even attempts to answer, let me tell you what you can do about it. Nothing.
Yep.
The only thing you can control is what your son or your daughter is going to say about you.
Yeah.
So get to work in setting up your destiny, your future.
Yeah, facts.
And you know what? It may be ugly the way it happens. There's
Yeah.
going to be mistakes that happen along the way.
Yes.
There are going to be heartbreaks and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you do your best, okay,
Believe in God.
believe in God. You did a good job.
You did a good job.
Yeah, and you got to give yourself that much, and so you'll never be perfect.
Yeah. Facts.
Yeah. And we are designed as perfectly imperfect beings.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So,
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. And that's the application that I think that people I'll say for me it worked. I tried being that rebel. I tried being totally egotistical, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It
I'm
doesn't
telling
work.
you, man.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's easy to do bad stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds cliche, but only jail, death, and stuff like that only happen when you do bad stuff.
Yes.
That's just what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always been, man, I don't know, man. I just love to see people succeed, man.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I never got no hate in my blood or none of that because
One of the good things about that is that you see yourself in those people.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and that's and when you begin to develop a relationship, a spiritual relationship, you start to see that you're part of everything.
Yep.
And that they're part of you. So
Yep.
that's a great insight right there.
Yeah,
And
man.
that's the kind of stuff that's great for building teams.
I'm telling you, yes, you're right.
Great for building teams.
You're right.
Because it was always I would get elected captain of my team because I respected that guy who was out there on the practice field who I knew would probably never get a day on that field, never get a chance.
You treat them all the same.
But their efforts to get out there and do that, and that came from me and my bench time.
Yeah.
That came from me and my not being good enough yet to be on the field.
Yeah.
Or when I ended up winning at Rich Spring, and a lot of people won't brag about this, but I was 6th in the state in the 100-meter dash at 235 pounds.
Wow.
Now, to me and my coach, that was a great honor because he was the track coach from us in middle school up to high school.
Wow.
And I would beg to get in the 100 meter. Richard, you didn't qualify. Richard, you didn't qualify. But in here, I was fast. So I acted and behaved as if I was fast. I ran and I ran when nobody was looking. I was running and training.
Wow. Okay.
Trying to be the best I could be every day until I never forget him running and bringing me that award. And he had tears in his eyes because I never gave up because I was like, you're not allowed to run in 7th grade, you're not allowed to run in 8th grade, you're not allowed to run in 9th grade. I wasn't qualifying. And then finally my 12th grade year, I got a chance to run it and I ended up being number 6.
Wow. And that's a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 235?
Yeah.
What, playing with linebacker, fullback?
Yeah, fullback.
Racing against people that play with receivers,
cornerbacks,
and quarterbacks and stuff.
Right.
That's amazing, man. That's a good accomplishment. And see, like you said, people, they always know you for football and stuff like that. You know, it's good that you run track.
I was MVP in football, basketball, track, and I was also a tennis champion.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the tennis champion.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
going. But that all that came from hard work.
Yeah, because the tennis thing you was talking about.
Yeah.
When y'all first came to Rich Spring, it wasn't no tennis courts like that.
No.
So I read something where your dad built tennis courts for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so tell me how that was, the grind of playing tennis, especially being a black, you know what I'm saying, a black guy back then. You know how they playing tennis, bro?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Well, my dad loved tennis so much that he played it, of course, competitively, and we developed a team as tennis players. Yeah, we had members of the family were on. People in the community. My dad taught them things, and
wow.
Yeah, so and then he loved it as much as to build a court.
Wow.
Put a court down, and I loved it when he built it. At first, when it started, he had a slab of concrete down there, and we used to skate on it. You know, so it was about skating. It was like a skating rink. You know,
it's funny, man, because you know, as a kid, that's stuff you do, man. You do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
He allowed us to, and that was good. He
facts.
Until it was time for the net and everything to come up.
Yeah.
But he was really competitive. He loved sports.
Okay.
And you know, and tennis was a sport of his choice at that time. I started playing when I was 5. I ended up becoming at a professional level when I was 15. Went to Vandermeer Tennis Camp down in Hilton Head, you know, South Carolina. Oh yeah, which is where you got certified as a teacher and everything.
Man.
So, won the tournaments against some schools in Aiken. I used to play at Odell Weeks.
Okay.
From the time I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah. So,
wow, man, that's great, bro. That's amazing. How was it? You know, you said when they Hilton Head.
Yeah.
How was that experience down there playing into the tournaments?
It was down there was a lot of training and coaching on how to be a tennis pro. Yeah. And also to you had to get a rating, and then also to be an instructor.
Okay.
Get a rating. So it was hard.
So this is probably one of the top trainings. Wow.
It was on this coast. It was
down there by yourself. 15.
No, my dad was with me.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was it is a well-known guy. He was actually a South African named Dennis Vandermeer. It's Vandermeer Tennis Camp. Yeah. Okay. Well known. You mentioned that in the tennis community, they go like, whoa.
That's top notch right there.
Yeah. You may have been around it, but it was difficult. It was hard. You know, you got teased and picked at. Being young African American male playing tennis. You know, and it's one of the things that my dad tried to bring a little bit more culture to the neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, and so. It was great, and then there was a time when I'm like, Dad, can I branch out to do some more of the other things? But he wanted to make sure that that I had that foundation. And the good thing about it is this, and I will tell you what I did learn, is that when you play tennis, you're playing singles, and you're playing tournaments, there's nobody else there to get that ball but you.
I'm telling you.
Okay. It's hard. Yeah, and I will say this because I'm not going after the ball, that if someone had the football, when we developed that so-called Desert Swarm defense in Arizona, Teddy Bruschi publicly gave me credit when he had done so well by his senior year, and they told him, says, Teddy, you're such an integral part of this Desert Swarm, and that, probably the best player. He says, no. Richard Maddox is the originator of the Desert Swarm. Wow. Because I used to run to the ball. Whoever had the ball, I ran to it. So there was always running across the field, never giving up, going into the whistle blow, and that's in print.
See, people don't understand how legendary it is. Teddy Bruschi is in print. That's the guy that, for the youth people, young people, you got Teddy Bruschi, guy that played with Tom Brady too.
Yeah, 3-time Super Bowl winner.
Yeah, I heard it. That's who he played with, and that's who acknowledged him as the leader of the Swarm defense in Arizona.
And what is unique too is that they call all of their sports Swarm now.
Wow.
Every sport there is called.
Oh, for Arizona?
Yep, it's a Swarm.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's stamped forever too.
Yeah.
And like you said, I want to like with the youth, how you said you play multiple sports. Yeah. Tell them how that will help them. Okay, so everybody got one sport that they really want to go hard in, but tell them how playing multiple sports will help them in that one sport.
Right. Well, I gotta say this much about me. I was fanatical. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So, when it comes to playing multiple sports, I want to be the best that I could be at every last one of them. Yeah. And like basketball was the most challenging. It took a lot more time and dedication to become a basketball player I wanted to be. I ended up being first team All-State, as a basketball player.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but it took a lot of practice for me to get there.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to be the best I could be.
That's just your mentality.
That was my mentality.
Going into every sport, I'm gonna be the best.
Yeah. And I realized that if I'm the best I can be, I win every time. I don't care how good the guy is next to me. I don't even care what the scoreboard says. If I gave everything I had, I won.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and that's something that I want the youth to know, and even teams to know.
Oh yeah.
That if you're doing the best you can do, and you come back, you study what you did, and you do better.
And learn.
You
from
give
it.
another effort.
Yep.
And I would always tell the kids, if you can get just 1% better every day,
Yep.
that's 365% better by the end of the year.
I'm telling
and
you.
who's doing that? That's hard, okay?
Man, you're right, bro.
Yeah, if you take it incrementally, that's how much better you can get. It's not that, and there's another one I used to study, and when it comes to winning.
Yeah.
Okay. We're either winning or we're learning.
Yep.
And we can't win unless we learn.
Yeah.
So essentially, we're always winning.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And the reason why that's so great to teach kids is because just because you lose a game or something, just always remember it's a game.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still teaching you things for life.
Right.
You know
and
what I'm saying?
and the thing is, after that game is gone, it's gone.
It's gone. You can't bring it back.
No.
It's nothing we can do about it.
No. We can review what it was, see what it takes to get better, live in the now, work on it right now. Don't worry about losing the next one. Okay? Do the best you can at this moment to let the chips fall where they may. Put everything you got on the table that next game is Yeah. But if you get into that habit, you're gonna win.
I'm telling you, every single time.
And it'll show on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You will. Yeah.
Facts. You're right about that.
Right.
So we're gonna bounce back to the swarm defense.
Yeah.
So what year did that start?
1992.
Okay.
Yeah, 1992. I started out in 1990 at Arizona when I transferred there, and we had a great time. I mean, we had some great players on those teams. They had great players even before I got in there.
Okay.
First rounders and everything like that.
Any notable players on the Arizona team besides you?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, gosh, I could go Jimmy Hoffman. I could go Chuck Osborne. I could go Tony Bowie. I could go Heath Bray. I could go Ty Parton. John Fino was.
These are legendary names.
Yeah, first round draft
So the
picks.
youths.
Yeah, so.
So Teddy Bruschi was before you?
He was younger than I was.
Oh, he was younger than you.
Yeah, he was younger than me. And what was interesting about him is that when they brought him in, he wasn't even on scholarship.
Wow.
He was a walk-on.
Wow.
But he had a strong desire to succeed. He was a walk-on.
But see,
Ended up being one of the best players that ever played defense at that school ever.
Wow.
And a 3-time Super Bowl winner.
That's what I'm saying. And see, that's how you say, back to what you said about how you read books on winners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But people think it's perfect, but they really go through a lot.
Now imagine this kid. How good he was and how well he wanted to do. He wanted to go to college. It was always his dream and got no scholarship offers.
Man, especially that in his heart, he worked hard.
Made it academically. Got a chance to. He got accepted to the University of Arizona, walked on the team, and the rest is history.
Wow.
And also, he was the only player to return to the NFL from a stroke and still win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. But he's as good as a guy as you would like him to be if you were a fan.
Yeah.
That's what kind of person he is. So, and again, I want to give those guys credit because, he saw what he wanted to train with my weight training group. I remember I was a captain of the weight room, and he was in a different weight group, and he would watch my weight group, and he says, I'm getting in that group.
Oh yeah.
And there's other stories I can tell you about him, about his fire and passion for what he wanted to do.
Okay.
That are just great, but we got to save some of those things for later.
Oh yeah, facts. You're right about that.
Right.
So when did you become captain of that defense?
That was I had a medical redshirt year. When I was in 1991 is when I got hurt pretty bad. First game against Ohio State, had a game of my life. Tore Ohio State to pieces.
Wow.
Yeah. King Graham was the quarterback. Gave him a concussion. There's also that Brandon put my little highlight film on tape on thing. Did you ever see it?
I didn't catch it. I'm at
It's on
watch
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm at to catch that.
Scouting video. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whenever I tell people that I used to be able to play pretty good, people, we talk a lot, but they'll go back and see that.
Yeah. You're right.
They'll give me my credit when they see it.
I'm telling you, man.
When they see that, they go like, "Wow."
I don't know why people don't. It'd be hard for them to believe when people get older.
Right.
I was young too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did my thing.
Yeah, that's right. And so many people did their thing, like I said, from where I'm from when I went to school.
Yes, sir.
Which gave me that drive and that aspiration to become the best I could be. Again, I never leave them out. But once we had that Dennis home, what happened is the great thing is got hurt that year. 5 of our top players went down.
Wow.
First game.
What?
First game.
Was that game really physical?
It was real physical. It was freak accidents, knees.
That's crazy.
Feet, you know, all kinds of things. We all went down. The five top players went down, and we had a top ranked fullback and everybody, and Mario Hampton, everybody went down. So we got our butts whooped that year. But what we did is that next year is we got together as a defense and as a team, especially as a defense, to say that we were going to play unselfishly. We all made commitments as to what we would do as far as what type of condition we would come back, you know, to camp in.
Yep.
And buddy, we even surprised ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We went to Miami and we held Miami to negative 30 yards rushing.
Hold on. What year this was?
1992. In the Sugar Bowl, down there, they beat us by 1 point, 76.
University of Miami.
University of Miami.
Now I know y'all know about the '90s Miami team.
Yes.
And they legendary.
Yes.
So this is who we talking about playing against. So y'all went down there.
Yep.
Was it Coral Gables at that time? It wasn't Coral Gables, was it? Or was it the Orange Bowl?
It was the Orange Bowl.
The Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl.
Yeah, the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
So y'all went down there, played against who? Was it
Gino Torrella?
Gino Torrella
was the quarterback, a Heisman quarterback. And
Man.
I blocked a real important pass of theirs too because I got 2 points. So yeah, it's on the video.
Oh yeah, I got you.
But we held them to I think it was negative 33 yards rushing.
Wow.
And that unheard of.
That's what I'm saying. That's amazing. They swarm.
What's his name was playing down there? The Rock. He was a freshman down there at the time. Yep.
Man, so that was against Dwayne Johnson team.
Yeah, he was down there too.
Okay,
and Sapp.
And Warren.
Okay,
man. That's easy.
And I think Sapp, Sapp might have been a freshman at the time too.
Probably so.
But and then what happened? We ended up beating Washington, and they were number one. They'd already won 2 national championships.
I was just about to ask you about that because I used to like Jacksonville Jaguars. Right?
Yeah.
Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
So I seen the photo. I seen it. I seen the photo. You was on them.
Yeah.
You was on them now. So what about that game?
He was good. Yeah, we beat him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coming off 2 national championships.
And they were ranked number 1 in the country when we beat them.
And so I was in the same conference, right?
Yeah.
Washington and
Arizona. Yeah, that was
okay.
Pac-10 back then. Pac-10 was winning all the championships.
Yeah,
back then. USC and everybody.
Yeah.
So, it was an honor to have played in that conference back then, and to be as effective. We actually were the first team in Arizona, and first team at that time to do the California sweep, which is to beat Stanford, to beat Cal, to beat USC, to beat UCLA, all of them.
In 1 year.
Yep, we beat them all.
Man.
The California sweep. So
y'all won the conference that year too?
No. That was the thing about it. We had a tough time with our offenses, man. You know what I mean?
For real?
Yeah. That was our biggest.
Y'all had number 1 defense.
But if you look at the scores back when we had the Desert Swarm, it was like 7-6.
Yeah.
17-14.
Wow.
Yeah, but we we were scoring defense, but
that sounded like the Ravens in 2000.
Yep.
With Ray Lewis them.
Yep, that's
you know
right. Yep, that's right.
That's exactly what. See, and like I said, I used to hear about the swarm defense, swarm.
Yeah.
But now that they come back to you, that was y'all that was playing for the swarm defense. You know what I'm saying?
We started that.
That's amazing.
And the thing was, the swarming, and I'll take credit for this, was running to the ball.
You got to give yourself.
You got to get all the way to the ball.
That's what
swarming meant. That's what it meant. And the coach,
all 11 men to the ball.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't bring the collage because it has on there. It says Maddox, a model for all of U of A defenders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
nice.
can bring that to you because since you're going.
Oh yeah.
I can bring it to you.
I got you.
And we can do that part. We can add that right in here.
Oh yeah.
We'll add that in here. But
get that collage in there.
Yeah, and then also like
amazing,
some of the quotes on there. Like the year before I got there, Chris Singleton was a first round, 8th pick of the first round.
I heard of Chris Singleton.
Okay, and the coach would say Richard Maddox is playing the same position Chris Singleton played last year. Richard Maddox made plays Saturday. Chris Singleton never made. And Chris Singleton was the 8th pick of the first round.
Wow.
Oh yeah, they put that all in there. And then also the biggest one is Coach Brooks. My first game there was against Illinois. Illinois was ranked high. That time in 1990, and I was a Pac-10 player of the week. I only played 13 plays.
Wow. And like you said, the Pac-10 was very deep back then.
Very deep.
So for you to stand out like that, man, that lets you know how hard you worked.
Yep. I had 7.5 sacks after 3 games.
Oh my God.
So we were tearing it up, and with that type of a game, and I never forget Dallas player again against UCLA. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, so when you used to get player of the year, I mean not player of the year, but player of the game against those teams.
Right.
Did it mean a lot to you at that time?
You know what? It was.
Or was you like on to the next?
I was always on to the next, but one of the things that was for this little country boy from Rich Spring, you know, when that first game, they came in there with big cameras and big poof and reporters and
ABC,
everything, and I was like, whoa. Ooh. So and I was, you know, and to have a chance to be an ESPN special, and
man,
and I was one of the top, you know, I was one of the top 12 recruits in the country when I went to Arizona.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a 5-star, top 12 in the country.
Wow.
To go there, but I attribute that again to the competition I had at
Yep.
Spring Manetta High School.
Yep. That's exactly
and also being called out, being told like, you know, like, I mean, like, yeah, show me.
Yeah.
Show me. You know, at Rich Spring.
I know they used to give y'all like little, give you knowing that you from a little small town, you know, big city boys. They used to give you problems about that.
Oh yeah. Well, most of them, they could not believe that I come from a 1-8 high school.
Wow.
They couldn't believe it. They're like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. Yeah. And even the friends who came back to visit with me to realize where I'm from, they laugh.
I bet they like, man, where we at?
Right. Yeah, they would laugh and they go like, man, if everybody knew you was from this little bit of Podunk town, they wouldn't believe it. But but you know, again, like I say, you know, Rich Spring and you having to hold your own and be tough.
Yes, man.
Yeah, I give all the credit there.
It builds your character, man. It like even today, you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't give up with anything. You know what I'm saying? Going down there, it makes you keep going. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Keep going because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Yeah. And that's the only way you're gonna take a step forward if you do it.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so the swarming defense, you say, so the whole, you said from that, what that was your sophomore year, junior year?
It started my junior year because I got an extra year because of a medical.
Your medical,
yeah. But
and what happened with that?
My foot had foot injury.
Okay.
And actually, I had that foot injury when I was in 10th grade in high school.
Oh wow.
And it was arthritis. I had chronic arthritis.
Wow.
Starting back then, and I was told to stop playing sports.
Oh, why you still in high school?
Yeah, I was in 10th grade. They told me to stop playing sports. That was never gonna happen.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And but I dealt with that pain for so long. And then finally, when they actually did an X-ray on it, I tried to keep them hidden from it. Once they did the X-ray, they're like, "Oh my God."
Wow, man.
Man, we got to go ahead and do surgery.
Because, like you said, Rich Spring, it wasn't no surgeries and going to the doctor.
No,
that's a wrap.
Yeah. I wish you would tell somebody that your foot hurt. That's why you not playing.
Tell Darryl Rogers that back then.
Yeah, you tell anybody that your foot hurt. Man,
that's crazy, man.
They'll tell you somebody that played with no foot. You know
yeah. You already know. For real. So, but yeah, man. So you said the swarming defense started your junior year, and all the way up to your senior.
Yeah, and then it kept on because Teddy was still there, and Joe Salavea was still there. So it ran a couple more years after that. Yeah. And but see, it took a special type of player to play that defense back then. Yeah. And then other teams started to catch on.
Oh, for real? The offenses.
Yeah, the offenses kept on. They learned how to catch on to it because it was a new defense. It was called a double eagle flex.
So it started when you got there.
Yes, it started when I was there because I was a stand-up outside linebacker. And then what they did is they started taking. We had a new coach come in, Coach Rich Ellison. He had come from CFL. Yeah. So he found out a way to take the way that they did stuff up there. Now here, I mean, even though our game comes from the Canadian Football League.
Oh, you're talking about
our American game.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. So what happened is he saw something special that he could do, and he put a flex linebacker in there that confused everybody. Okay.
Use that flex?
No, we had a flex in there, but I was a stud outside linebacker, but I played down in the DN position. Yeah, so when you see the video, you'll see me stump from the outside and be fast enough to come around and blitz from the inside. Yeah, you'll see those things like that. So before you do this, you're gonna have to see all that because we're putting together a real good package for you because I want the people from Rich Spring to they need to know. Hey, one of your boys went out there and did this.
Yeah, and a lot of them wasn't able to see you play while you was playing in Arizona.
They made an announcement after that first game. I remember that because I heard people from Rich Spring call me and said that they made an announcement that.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, doing it like with the game. Yeah, the game. They said we just want to let everybody know that Richard Maddox won Pac-10 Player of the Week and 3 sacks, pass, interception.
So
all this stuff.
Did your dad and mom used to come to the Arizona?
They would when they got a chance, they came out.
Okay,
it wasn't often. Yeah, it wasn't often, but when they got a chance, they came out.
I mean, because a lot of parents was like that back then, though.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of them was old school minded.
Working
all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Multiple kids.
Yes.
So it was hard to go, travel out of state, especially all the way to the West Coast.
Right.
Up there in Arizona and stuff like that. So. But yeah, so you said you enjoyed the Arizona life.
Yeah, I did. I was. It was a school that really wanted me.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was important because you got schools that say, hey, we think you can fit in over here, fit in over there. Because I got the Florida State offers, the Carolinas. I got all those kind of things. You know what I mean? I got all those. Yeah.
I already said now. Who knows? I'll go. Hey, Florida State, we lit this year.
Yeah, a good buddy of mine went there from Lees McRae.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Grady Ross. He played there. He was a defensive back. Look him up.
What year?
Look him up. That's back in. Grady went there in probably 90.
90.
He
Okay.
played from 90 to 93. I think he was there.
Was that Charlie Ward then? Might have been Charlie Ward at quarterback too.
Yeah, I think Ward was still
Was
there.
it Charlie Ward team?
I think he was still there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a defensive back. Grady
I'm
Ross.
gonna look him up. And
Look
see.
him up, Grady, because
Okay.
he's still very active with the team.
Oh yeah.
Very active.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's got this. He's got this little logo thing. It's called Quick Playing.
Okay.
Quick
Okay.
Playing Products. Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
company and stuff.
Yep. Quick
okay.
Playing. Yep.
Okay. Grady Ross, man. That's
Yep.
what's up, man. So and I seen somewhere where when you first started Arizona, they only gave you what, $650.
Yeah. That's back in the time when you look at what the kids get now.
Yeah.
And
They
I
get
was-
paid
I
now.
was a merit student, and it was difficult. It was hard to
Yeah.
make it. It was hard to get along.
Yes.
I knew it would be tough.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try to set some type of example for my kids to follow.
So
You know what I mean?
kids.
Yeah.
So before you went to Arizona, you already had kids.
Yeah.
3
I
kids.
was
right?
already married.
Married.
Yeah, and I already had 3. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure
Okay.
did.
Okay.
Sure
So
did.
so by you coming into Arizona already having kids, marriage, so your mindset was different than the other students.
Yes.
So that's probably that what helped led you probably into that captain. Your mentality was already
Right. Yeah.
taking care of something.
Yeah.
I can't stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can only imagine how you was mentally going out there in the games, man.
Gotta give the best I can give.
You know what I'm saying?
But even there'll be like with the facts that we talk about and everything like that. There's even more off color we have to tell you about. Yeah. But I tell you, it was it was not easy.
Yeah.
It was difficult.
Yeah.
And I knew it would be hard, but I just wanted to put something that the boys could look at and use to feed off of, to go further.
Oh yeah, for sure. So after the Arizona days, what else did you get into?
Well, I was, as far as NFL, I had a shot, because of my injury. That was against me.
And that's a big deal too, man. That foot injury back then, without the good surgeons like they do now.
Yeah,
So I can only imagine it was bothering you.
Yeah, it was bad, and then they didn't expect me to even come back.
Oh wow!
But I was able to come back. I ended up being, all conference and making the Shrine Bowl.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, playing the East-West game.
Okay.
Yeah, back then they used to fly us to Japan, Tokyo.
Dang. For the Shrine game?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay.
So we played against. I was lucky to play good bowl games, Aloha Bowl.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Tell me about some of those experiences, the Aloha Bowl and all that.
The bowl games, man, were always even in JUCO where I played bowl games. We went both years there.
Okay.
And I was fortunate to play on teams where we had postseason games.
Yeah, facts.
But that was a lot of fun.
Did y'all get rains and stuff?
Yeah, the extended season, you get range, you get all kind of garb.
Oh yeah, extra
swag.
stuff.
Oh
Swag. Yeah. Gift bags and all type of stuff.
Right.
Okay. That's
But
good.
I mean,
man.
it was great, man, to fly to Hawaii to play games, Texas, and then I'll fly all the way to Tokyo.
Oh yeah, that's
Japan.
man.
Yeah,
great experience.
And play against the best people in the country.
Yeah,
Mark Brunell, he went. He was there.
That was my guy.
And see, I got some pictures I got to bring for you next time because it got us all on there. It's got
For real? The whole
East team, got us all on
I
there.
definitely need that.
Yeah, and I had set all that stuff side by side before I set
For
all
real?
that side. And
But
then
I remember you talking about it.
I jumped in the other car and I was like, God, dog.
That's how I be, bro. That's why I never plan stuff. Like I tell my girl,
Yeah.
let's just go with the flow, man. Because every time we plan, it never goes well. Never, bro. So that's good, man. Because a lot of people don't experience bowl games. Because when you go to a team or get drafted or recruited, you have no control of that team.
No.
So you don't know if they're gonna be good, bad.
Yep. You don't know what's gonna happen.
So for you to be blessed enough to play, go to these bowl games,
alongside some
some legends.
Yes.
Even the people that aren't considered legends to the to the usual people, but
Right.
you in practice,
Yeah.
you get them a lot of credit for
yeah.
where you are today.
Oh yeah.
Because of the grit and grind,
Yeah.
all the way back to Rich Spring.
Yeah. Even I even go back to when it came to speed training to get fast. I go back to Stacy Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. I heard about him.
Ooh, he's a legend.
I heard about him.
He was fast.
That's probably how you got that sixth place in
yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah. He actually ended up unfortunately leaving Rich Spring his senior year, and they moved to Aiken. The family moved to Aiken, and he set the record for Aiken High School in 100-meter dash.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So It was sweep right, like you could do sweep right, sweep left.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was his speed that inspired me to get faster.
Yeah.
Because it was crazy.
So his was natural.
Ooh, natural. And it was he was fast, buddy.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. He was
Lightning.
fast. Yeah, lightning.
That's
fast.
amazing. So them you said he got the record at Aiken High?
Yeah, he had a record at Aiken High.
So I know some
You
of
can
these
look
Aiken
that
people would definitely know who you're talking about.
up.
Stacey
man.
Hill?
Yep, Stacey Hill.
Okay.
Man, he was fast.
That's good, man, that you're acknowledging all your teammates and everything,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Those I could, and I'm sure there's something where I haven't said much about yet, but
Yeah.
I may have forgotten. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
They still know you're thinking about them. It's just, everybody, when you naming stuff and,
Right.
it's hard to come across everybody because you
Yeah.
experience a lot
And
of
I've
teammates.
been thinking about, even a couple that came after me that were good, and some that were there around the same time, like James Scott.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
ended up
I heard of James Scott.
Foots back then. He
Yeah.
ended up having a story, a YouTube story.
Oh, for real?
On his life, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, his resilience. I got to speak about this. He was in a fire when he was about in the second grade, I think it was. It's an unfortunate thing, and he come to school totally wrapped up. But his self-confidence was off the charts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Off the charts. He had been a great athlete at Rich Spring as well.
Wow.
He went on to be a military officer. And
I love stories
a notable
like that,
life that they got. It's a YouTube story. James
Okay.
Scott, his whole Rich Spring experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check that out, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check
You
that
gotta
out.
see
for
that.
real. And
That's
see,
awesome.
it's a lot of good stories like that from these small towns that, we trying to get it out there, man, because, America ain't just about New York and Philadelphia and, the big cities and stuff. You got to get some of the small town people that really built this country.
Right. And what I like, what I like about it, you said the small town, the little things, and we all know we always hear this in this cliche. I mean, it's the little things that count.
Yeah. That's I forgot what it is at Rich Spring. We used to say it.
Yeah.
The best little high school in the state or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like you say, it's a little thing that counts.
Little
man.
things that count.
You know what I'm saying? You do a little bit every time, it's gonna always connect to something big.
Right.
So I just love being able to get everybody's story out there, man. But let's talk a little bit about some of the training and stuff that you're doing now with the youth.
Yeah, I'm still, one of the things I'm doing with the kids is, for kids who are extremely serious about their goals and want to get help and direction, I offer personal training services, which actually includes nutrition, sports training, and fitness training. So that's one of the things that I do on the side.
Yes, sir.
And it's more of like a coaching instead of training per se, because I want to make sure that they get the intricate details of what it's like. I help them get to the next level if they need to.
Yes.
Make referrals and recommendations so that they can be seen.
Yes, sir.
Out there. It's not something I do a lot of.
Yeah.
But, just for that kid who's really ready to commit.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they get led to me because I don't advertise very much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
and I was just about to ask you how can they if people want to send their kids to you or
if they did want to do that, I can we'll probably I'll send you some information.
Yeah, send me some information and I'll put it out there for you guys
right.
if y'all want to get in touch with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He do a great job. He's training middle schoolers, high schoolers.
Yep.
He over there in Augusta, Carolina.
Right.
So you do training, speed, stuff like that.
Speed, nutrition, all those things. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's highly effective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fact. And like you said, you have to be committed. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna want to come to somebody that's gonna sacrifice their time and help you guys, you know what I'm saying? You want to sacrifice your time and be committed to him because he's 100% committed.
Right.
All in. So you want to come out there and work hard. You know what I'm saying? Let him know that you ain't wasting his time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all positive and gonna teach you the right things to do.
Right.
And another thing, so do you have any other business things that you got going on or anything you want to talk about?
Well, there's still, I still do some things in the medical field.
Yes.
I market, diagnose, all on the preventive medicine side.
Okay.
The side that help you take care of yourself, and also gives physicians the tools to help you take care of yourself before anything sets in.
Yes.
Instead of being in what you call reactive medicine, let's be in the preventive medicine side of it.
That's what I like right now.
Yeah. And so with that, and also with alternate pain medications post surgery that help people not have to end up getting on the opioids.
Yes. That's a great thing, man, because nowadays America is dealing with a lot of opioid stuff going on.
Yeah.
And so that field of you trying to get something to prevent them to get on it.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of medicine and stuff be after the fact.
Yeah.
When it's kind of not too late.
If you
But
take care of yourself, yeah. If you get in front of it, it's better. And that only comes through experience, because I know I know what it's like to be.
It's tough.
I know what it's like to be on on the other side of it, and really wish that I had been on the preventive side of it at the first time.
Yes, sir.
But it's a culture that we have to develop.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You're right about that. Did you want to talk a little bit about that side of the story? If not, we can move on to the next one.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one.
But
it's a little deep.
Oh yeah. And so basically, if y'all want to get in touch with him again, once he give me the information, I pass it to y'all. If y'all want to come talk to him about, if you know anybody that need help with opioids or anything, we can reach out to him.
There's medications that they can recommend.
Yeah.
If they're gonna go into surgery, they can tell the doctor, "Hey, I want to try this."
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, that's another, and see, that's good too, man, because a lot of people don't, they just go off everything the doctor just tell them. But
Right.
you can tell them you don't want to go that route.
Right. Yeah.
You want to try this.
I want to try this because it's just because like statistically, like it says, because that part of my company is CSRA Wellness Consulting.
Yeah.
And you can go to that online. It's got a couple of videos that shows you, like I said, the in-office diagnostics, and also you got the one that shows you about the new pain medication. It's amazing, the video. It's a little short video, but to tell you how many people get addicted to the pain medications that never meant to.
Yeah, facts.
They never meant to.
Yes.
And the thing is, it was out of their control.
Yes.
And it was, prescribed to them.
Yes, sir.
And it, can cause a lot of damage.
Yes, it can. And like you said, this is a no judgmental zone too. We don't judge nobody.
Right.
Because it's good that you're able to speak from, the point of view from them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not judging them, saying, man, he's just junkies, right? No, it ain't. Most times, 9 times 10, like you said, they start with prescription pills.
Yeah.
Even if they take it how the doctor tell them, their body gonna want it. It's nothing you can do.
Right.
Your body's gonna want what it could be coffee.
Yeah.
It could be tea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it's good that you're trying to get preventive medicine instead of reactive medicine.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you said CSRA?
CSRA Wellness Consultant.
Wellness Consultant. Y'all check that online and watch some of the videos. It's gonna
Yeah.
show y'all and tell y'all details of it or whatnot. But so we're gonna get into the final stage of it. So I want to talk a little bit about your kids. Tell me how proud you are of all your kids.
I've been blessed above and beyond. Trying to dispel in them the things that I learned. As far as playing perfect in no sense at all.
Yes,
it's coming from me, flawed like any other human being.
Yes, sir.
But the things that they were able to achieve, and I always say that these things, the things that they did, they got a little instruction from me, but they did them on their own.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The goal was to empower, not to enable.
Yes.
And and it's tough. It's a tough, but I actually took classes in college on child and adolescent development.
Okay.
And again, like I said, I needed help and I needed instruction to be a better father, that I could be.
Yes, sir.
But I'm proud of them and the efforts that they put forward to do what they did, because of the kids, there's the majority, all of them graduated college.
Yep.
Or they have successful careers. Because one of the things I want people to know is that it's not even necessarily about graduating from college, but it's about having the proper tools in your tool bag to do whatever it is that you want to do in life.
Yes.
Okay, that's what's most important.
Yeah.
And that's what they seem to be able to do so far. Everyone's still a work in progress.
Yes.
But I'm so thankful because for African American children, those of that, not just African American, but of any minority race, to be able to achieve what they've done, and also to stay out of trouble.
Yes.
To to whatever extent, it's a blessing.
It is a blessing, man.
And I definitely give all the glory to God, because it definitely wasn't me.
Okay? Oh yeah. You give yourself a little credit. Though. I love humility. I love it. God is number one, but you give yourself a little credit, man, because you had to put in the groundwork. You know what I'm saying? And everybody come from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And DNA is a strong thing that gets, it gets passed down to your kids, and the kids, a lot of this stuff come from their parents and stuff,
And our grandparents.
They're not going to, and our grandparents, your kids not going to tell you, because it's just a kid thing. We're lame to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in their head and stuff, they know, they love it. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't tell you sometimes, as far as, I'm talking about just in general.
Yeah.
We all know they, they love pops and stuff like that. Okay. So I just love all the accomplishments, and like I told you, I went to school with 2 of your sons, and they doing amazing, Xavier and Richard.
Right.
And I know Murphy, he did his thing, you know what I'm saying? In high school to Ole Miss, to now he's back coaching at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. And then you got Christian, Brandon, Aaron, you know what I'm saying?
Kiana, Cole.
Yeah. So they all doing good.
Yeah.
Kelvin too, right?
Yeah,
Kelvin. Yeah, man. Kelvin too. He went to Rich Spring too. He was a little bit. I think he went to school with my little brother Denzel.
Yeah.
You know, he was a good football player too.
Yeah.
Along with Richard and Xavier.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's good that all of them doing amazing, man. And I know you're proud of them.
Yes.
You know, and they proud of you too, because they used to always talk about you a lot, man.
That's good to hear.
And it was just good having you on, you know, Straight Facts Podcast.
Thank
man.
you. Glad
And
to
so,
be here.
but we ain't done. We're gonna finish.
Right.
We're gonna finish it out next
Yeah,
time. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
right.
Because we got a lot more to bring to you know.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes.
We're gonna close this thing out. Straight Facts Podcast. This your host CY. And we'll be back next week.
Thank you. Cool, man.
Appreciate you, man. That was a good one, bro.
God bless
Man,
you.
that was a good one, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a photo.